Well, pantiles are a natural product. They're made from earth, dug out of the ground and fired, which gives them that particularly distinctive terracotta colour. Therefore, it's not a surprise to find that they're associated with clay deposits, principally on the east coast and in certain parts of central Scotland, along the Forth Valley, for instance, where there are good clay deposits which are easily exploitable, the clay being dug out, fired and turned into the terracotta tiles that we know today. The popular wisdom regarding pantiles is that they came over from the Low Countries as ballast in ships. There is some truth in that. We know that pantiles did come over in the holds of ships from the Low Countries, but probably not as crude ballast, but as a fairly scarce and expensive commodity, and used in probably some fairly high status buildings first of all. There was extensive business and trade contact between the east of Scotland and the Low Countries, so it's inevitable that merchants spending quite a lot of time, often having two houses, both on the continent and in Fife, would wish to emulate the detail of the houses of their colleagues on the continent. By the middle of the 17th century, some estates in the east of Scotland, some enterprising businessmen got together and decided to set up their own factories to avoid having to import the materials from the Low Countries and having recognised just how versatile they were. By the middle of the 18th century, pantile became the preferred roofing material in a lot of Scottish towns and villages, particularly on the east coast. It was found to be preferable to thatch because it was safer, didn't catch fire in the same way, it required less maintenance, it was more versatile, and in some ways it provided a neater and a more durable roof. Up until the end of the 19th century, and possibly even into the 20th century, pantiles were always made by hand, so it was very much a handicraft industry. After that, mechanical methods were used, which gave a completely different effect and finish to the products. The pantile itself is an ingenious thing. It has a very unusual roll and lap finish and has to be laid in its own particular manner. Unlike slate, which is nailed to roofs, pantile is actually laid without any proper fixings, with a little lug which hangs on the back of a batten, or pantile lath as they're called, and when their whole roof is put together, it all sits neatly, one tile depending on the next one, to form a complete interdependent roof system. Sometimes when you look at a pantile roof, you'll see at the bottom of the roof a line of 2 or 3 slates. This is known as an easing course, and some people say this is good practice which helps protect the wall head from rain or from snow. Pantiles are at their best on large expanses of roof. When you get to small details such as dormers or other finicky parts of the roof, it's actually quite hard to work with pantiles, so invariably slate would be used in such situations. Where pantiles are used for dormers and other details on the roof, it's usually used in a very robust manner, such as in the catslide dormers you'll see in Coora's Palace. The pantile is an essential part of the character of the east of Scotland, where it sits beautifully with the harl, sandstone, lime wash, and together they make this harmonious character which is so typical of our east coast towns.